Have you ever accidentally become the hero because of a costume? I didn't have a date for the Halloween dance, so I went with my best friend Jake. He came dressed as a police officer, badge, handcuffs, the whole thing. I showed up as a firefighter. Real jacket, real boots, real helmet. Borrowed from my cousin who actually worked for the city department. The only fake thing was a plastic axe I grabbed from the dollar bin at Party City. We walked into that gym looking like the world's least convincing emergency response team. Jake nudged me near the entrance and said, "Protect and serve, brother." I raised my plastic axe in a salute, and we walked in like we owned the place. For the first hour, everything was perfect. Teachers were pretending to chaperone while staring at their phones by the punch bowl. The fog machine had been running so long, you genuinely could not see the far wall. Every time it got thick, someone screamed fire and half the gym cheered because everyone assumed it was atmosphere. I spent 40 minutes polishing my cousin's gear before leaving the house, and people kept stopping me to ask if it was real. I told them yes with complete confidence because technically the jacket was real, even if I absolutely was not. Then the fog machine made a sound like a dying microwave, and a ribbon of actual smoke drifted in from the side hallway. Not fog, smoke, different color, different smell. The kind that sits in the back of your throat. The alarm went off and everyone cheered again because nobody believed it yet. Then a teacher near the exit started waving her arms with the specific energy of someone who was no longer performing calm. The principal grabbed the microphone. "Everyone evacuate. This is not a drill." The room shifted instantly. That sentence does something to a crowd. Jake grabbed my shoulder. "This is literally your department, man." He was grinning. I was about to say something back when actual sirens started outside. Real fire trucks pulling into the parking lot while students streamed out the main doors. I got swept toward the entrance and a firefighter in full gear came through the doors fast and spotted me immediately. Full jacket, helmet, boots, the complete picture. "You with Station 7? He said, already moving. I opened my mouth to explain exactly who I was. He pushed a flashlight into my hand and said, "East hallway, let's go," and was already moving before I finished inhaling. I followed because I genuinely did not know what else to do. The hallway was dark and filled with smoke that made your eyes water immediately. We tracked an orange extension cord running from the gym all the way down past the lockers toward the science classrooms. It disappeared under a classroom door. One firefighter reached for the handle and pulled back fast. Hot. He looked at me and said, "Hit it." I swung my axe with everything I had. It made a sound like someone squeezing a dog toy and bounced off completely. The firefighter stared at the axe, then at me, then said, "Budget cuts," under his breath and tossed it aside. Before anyone could examine the situation further, someone shouted from down the hall and the whole team moved. I was 2 steps behind them when I heard a small, frantic spinning sound coming from inside that classroom. High-pitched and panicked. A hamster wheel going way too fast. I knew exactly what it was because I'd sat in that classroom sophomore year. The class had a hamster named Captain who lived on the counter by the window, and apparently nobody had thought about Captain during the evacuation. I turned back alone. The handle was hot enough to feel it through the air. I wrapped my jacket sleeve around my forearm, grabbed it anyway, and the heat cut straight through the fabric into my palm immediately. I swore, stepped back, then threw my full shoulder into the bottom panel 3 times until it cracked open. Smoke poured out like it had been waiting. Inside, small flames were eating through a stack of papers near the window right next to the cage. I yanked the melted extension cord from the wall with my sleeve, took a spark directly to the hand, grabbed the cage with the same arm, felt the burning metal cut straight through the fabric into my palm, and walked back out through the side door into the cold air. The noise hit me all at once. I went down to one knee on the concrete, still holding the cage. A paramedic wrapped gauze around my hand and told me I was out of my mind. Jake came sprinting over from where he'd apparently been standing with actual officers, eating chips and watching everything like television. He stopped when he saw my hand. "Dude, what did you do?" The firefighter beside me